sun is out today, despite yesterday being a very disruptive, unbalanced, negative day, which is funny. You know, so I'm here in the park and early morning, but it's actually a bit of a strain making the video. Because like I say, there is the matrix, which is personal but also very impersonal, in the sense that you are not really interacting with the technical beings on a one-on-one basis most of the time. But you can have personal relationships in your life. The old saying, you can't pick your relatives, they can't pick you either. So basically, there are personal relationships, unless you've isolated yourself totally from everyone. And that is hard to do, because even if you feel like that, because you now realise it's a spiritual domain as well as a negative technical matrix that's in opposition to a human being. And so I guess the challenge is to try to be as much a human being when you're dealing with technical or possessed people, that are levelling abuse really at you all the time. Early morning joggers, like I say, they've never jogged much along here, but I'm not sure why they're getting out over here. Because the school, what's he doing? Oh goodness gracious, see, this is matrix activity. I have to admit, I wasn't planning on this, but see how he just moved he's moving the poles out the ground there, right in front of me. Now, that school is closed. So he's moved the pole out the ground. What for? So he's moved the pole out the ground so that he can drive his car in. See, that's matrix stuff, isn't it? Because that would actually be illegal. But see, because he's part of the matrix, he can actually move a steel pole out the ground and put it back in so that he could take his car up there. Do you see my point? Because I've told you before, no cars can come up there, so they've got all the poles. But he just did that, which shows you, anyway, I better focus on the trees and the park. Oh, look at the doggies. They're two little dogs. I've seen them before, those two. I won't bother the fella because I think he's, but the dogs are quite friendly. And as you can see, this is the back of the park, don't forget. Mind you, where did she spring from? Behind me. That's interesting. You see how she's stopping in front of me? That is an obvious matrix controlled person, a technically controlled person. Because when they stop in front of you and do things, that shows them, that is them showing their true nature right in front of you. What is this van coming down? Now see what I'm saying? See, what's this van going to do? This is a dead end. That fella pulled the poles out the side. Now what's this one going to do? He's not going to pull the pole out too, is he? Oh, he is. So this is Matrix. Look, it's not going to be as pleasant as yesterday morning where they played possum and kept a low profile and basically were quiet. But you see, they can't resist it. See how he's blinking the lights at me in broad daylight. Look, the sun over there. See? That's actually quite nice there. So that's actually quite photogenic. See, he's gone in too. He's moved the other pole and gone in there. They're showing me that they can do what they like, you see. Because those poles should be permanently in the ground. You can't go up there. Now, look at him. He's putting the pole back in the ground. But nothing surprises me. Actually, it still does. But even the little antics, I'm just going to pretend that that's not happening and continue. Look at how the sun is hitting the trees here. This might be alright. Maybe I should have the phone round the other way, but I can't see what I'm filming if I do that. Yesterday I didn't do too bad considering that I can judge it because I've been doing it for a fair while now with the video, even though some of them, as you know, I get so confused by the Matrix because if it comes around you and you're trying to film a bit, then you jump from one thing to another so you look silly. That's what happens. But let's see. Let's just see if I can just concentrate on some trees. See, he has gone in there, moved the poles out of the ground. Moved the steel poles that should be permanently in the ground to get in there. Yeah, that's why did I do that? But that's a tree. See how the sun's hitting it. That actually makes a picture, doesn't it? So I'll make a picture for you with someone. Just temporarily I'm going to forget about yesterday because that's the thing. When you're a human being and you have what I would call a very disruptive, psychologically disruptive day, where it's personal people making things mentally stressful for you, shall we say. Sometimes it takes a few days to put that behind you as a human being. And don't forget that if you have a mind that tends to repeat itself, like mine does in particular, you know, like if I hear a song, I have that song going round in my head for at least a few days, and I can't stop it. Like it just so if I get sick of it or don't like it, or it's negative, or it's a song that's say a sad song, say, you know, then that keeps playing in your head, and so it's the same if you have a negative interaction, you know, a personal negative interaction. That's apart from the Matrix. Controlling with negative frequencies at a visual level, at a sound level. That's why I've got blue tack in my ears right now, even low. I'm sure this is quite peaceful because although there are people coming into the park, but once I get past this park, oh, here's a little dog coming up. Can I film him? Wonder if this fellow will let me film a little doggy. Can I film your little dog? Because he's very cute. Hello. How are you? Oh, yes, he's a little dog. What sort of dog is he? Oh,
I'm sorry, I'm on a long-distance phone call. I can't stop right now.
Oh, you can't.
I'm talking to someone overseas.
Oh, sorry.
Okay,
sorry.
that's okay.
Never mind.
Thanks.
Thank you. Oh, he was talking to someone else. I didn't know that. So he's got something in his ears and he pulled it out. So people can talk with these devices stuck in their ears, you see. So I didn't know that. So I was just going to pretend to be friendly and ask what sort of dog it was, because he was. Oh, here we have this van coming back out again. See, this is just a patrolling van. See, that's what I'm saying. See how it pulled the things out, went down. See, look, watch its antics. I should be filming the trees, but instead I'm back on the traffic. But watch its antics. Watch its antics instead of coming back down. Watch it do all the matrix controlling, patrolling manoeuvres, the car manoeuvres, to annoy you, to sidetrack you, to divert your attention, to bring you into their reality that they're watching you. So I'm not going to watch. No, I'm not going to watch. There's the caravan again. See, I'm supposed to be in that caravan. Is there room for two in there, or is there? It's only like a single little one, but it's always been here. Sometimes of a night I wonder what is really inside, because it is fun, because actually that's illegal to leave a van there for years and years. In fact, especially around this area, but that shows you that it's probably part of the matrix in its own way. You know, all these cars that are along here, there's not many today. Normally they'll be all lined up along here, as you can see, but even these ones, and that grey one that is down there, that's the grey car I mentioned a year or so ago in a video. That is actually not used at all. It's actually got cobwebs on it. I always think it's waiting for me to drive it away. You know, to make some sort of getaway or something. But of course, that's just me living in delusion land, because you have to have a license, you see. So even if, see, that fella's now getting out that thing there. As soon as I looked, you see, you have to look. The minute you look at something, and how can you not look at the reality around you? See, he's getting out the van there now, playing around. But it doesn't matter. It looks all legitimate, because it looks like, see, just how he blinked the lights at me before I could get the thing round. Before I could get the mobile round, they blinked the lights at me. They do that to get your attention. And yet when you see them get out, they will have some sort of legitimate work or job or activity that they're doing. But it's still all staged. It's just staged around a human being to get the attention, but also they know, if they know that you know that they're doing it all, I mean, there's probably a dual purpose. They get the energy from you, you see. They get your attention, they get your energy. It's all like that. It seems crazy stuff to a human being. But in a way, it's not so crazy, because, you know, human beings like a little bit of attention. That's because we're in the matrix and we feel that we have to measure up to other people. We're conditioned to that competitiveness or that insecurity that we compare ourselves to others. And the matrix makes us feel bad about ourselves because we compare to the demigods, or we compare to what we're expected to look like, what we're expected to achieve, what we're expected to do in this world, all this sort of thing. Whereas really, you know, that's all from the matrix. That's all, or if you want to just put it another way, that's, you know, all society's conditioning, or what you're told from the day you're born. We know that, you know, that's the world you live in. And most people accept that to be normal. And anyway, I'm going on here and not quite concentrating. I know I should be making better points than these. Before I left home, I had it very clear about the matrix people and how they think. The only reason I know how they think is because if you interact with one that openly shows you how it's thinking, because most of them play covert. Most of them don't show you their negative side, because otherwise you'd run a mile. But there are some people you can't run a mile from anyway. If you're married to someone, say, that is, you know, a technical psychopathic type, doesn't matter, because they're very similar, whether you're a psychopathic person, which essentially means that you don't like other people. You don't, but not only do you not like them, because like I could not like things, but mostly if you're a real person, if you don't like something, you avoid it, whereas psychopathic people don't like people. Or at least, I'm not using the correct terms here, I know that. Because, I suppose I should be more correct in my terms. But the narcissistic psychopath type, perhaps that's closer to the truth. There is sociopaths and other things. Look, I forget all the terminology after a while because I just see it as also psycho, that I understand it. But I get sick of having to use the terminology because I'm so confused by the matrix I can't concentrate. But essentially, it doesn't matter, whether you are, what the correct position is. They are controlled by technical beings, whichever way you look at it, whether you think of it as possession, to where you are a narcissistic psychopathic type, and there again, don't hold me to what I'm saying. You may know more. You may understand it even more. I do, but at the same time, I'm not good on the terminology. And, I'm trying to keep it simple. But so it doesn't matter, because it's all still where what apparently is a human body or a human person that you would recognize. People coming around. There's people all around me at the back here, but I'm not concentrating on them, you see, because the matrix is still operating, but it will be much stronger. But you see, what I'm trying to say is that it's still being controlled. Even if you're a human being, if you want to take it at a very simple level and you've allowed possession, or possession has taken place, whether it be against your will or with your consent. Now, I'm not going to go into that because I don't fully understand it, whether there has to be consent. There probably is a decision, if you take it that you were, say, born a natural human being. Or maybe there is a physical difference in some people's body. Maybe there are, the less pure your bloodline is. I'm going out on a limb here, I have to admit. Maybe the less pure your bloodline is, therefore you are already susceptible, much more susceptible to the invasion by the technical beings to take over your mind, take over your body and your mind. Well, mind, really. It's the same thing. It's like in the old Body Snatcher movie. They take over your mind, basically. So you've got another mind in what appears to be a familiar body. In other words, like in the movie The Body Snatchers, the man was married to his wife, and that was a funny thing to say, wasn't it? The man was married to his wife. Well, of course, a man is married to his wife, but but I'm stressed here, so don't take me too. Don't nitpick and take me too literally, because look, I'm in a matrix, so of course I sometimes say things without thinking and I might get it slightly wrong because my mind might be concentrating more on the point or trying to connect with someone as opposed to the actual details. I might not think some details are important. I might make a mistake and call something a different name, even though I know what the real name is, just because I'm trying to impress or get the point across. It depends on who I'm, it depends on what the situation is. And I think it probably doesn't matter. But of course, if I'm dealing with another person who is like myself, I'm very skeptical of what's around me and the people around. And you're looking for signs as to whether you're dealing with someone that you should be really connecting with or being open with, shall we say. Perhaps that's the right word. Because you'll have to deal with matrix people and possessed people and technical beings. It can't be avoided. But if, like me in the past, you've been too open with the wrong people, that is an invitation for disaster as a human being. You'll be playing for the matrix and playing against yourself and playing against your own kind. That's true. But what I was saying was maybe if you're slightly because there could even be differences in the human kind of species, shall we say. Where some are more less prone or open to the possession than others. I don't know if this is so. It's possible. Because, the process of bringing life, into existence is meant to be a process of high vibration. And we all know what that means. So if there isn't that, there could be, high possibilities for technical possession. Because technical beings are like the narcissistic psychopaths. They do not like human beings. And they don't avoid them. That's my point. Unlike human beings, even like a technical being, like I want to avoid those types. But they will come around you. They will make it so you can't avoid them. That's like what's happening here. Look at this car. Look at what it's doing. It's right in front of me, and it's doing a halfway manoeuvre. So it's come halfway. See the logic? It's come halfway down the street to do a manoeuvre. Now it's pretending to park right next to me, but it was doing its manoeuvre around me. So I didn't even see that because I wasn't watching. But you see how they won't avoid you. They will come round you because they like the negative energy. They need it. And they want to steal all your thoughts and all your ideas and all your human traits from you so that they can emulate it and essentially use it against you. It's a funny noise coming at the back of me there. And funny people too. In front, pulling in there. See? This is the back of the park. There should be no one down here. The school is all closed. Not open. Why are these cars pulling up here even? Some of them will pretend to get into the park, But most of them, like even the fact that people are coming from a distance in their car to the park, most people at this park would just be like very local to where people would probably just walk their dog from one of the houses round. See how this thing is going into the school, which is closed. See, that is a matrix, controlling force. See how he's just going to stand there and blink his light at me? Can you see that? And that fella will cross him. Can you see that? Does it make any sense to anyone? What? Oh my goodness, that fella is actually going in front of him as well. Is that not obvious? So I thought he was just a walker. But see, that fella is connected to that car. And he come from here, from nowhere. See, they're coming because they're patrolling and controlling. They're a matrix. I can't concentrate on what I'm saying, but see how obvious that is. That school is closed. He's opened the gates and let that car in. He did that strange things just down there, as you saw, with pulling the poles out the thing. This is all in the space of just at the back of my little park where I'm just walking. And I was going to they want to stop me from making a pleasant video for someone because some people are sick of the matrix, so they're just like, why don't we just film a few trees and something? I agree, that's what I would like to do. If I was in the real world, I'd be happy to just take a few photos or videos of this park even, or anything. Look at that tree. It smells funny here though. Because it's been wet, it actually smells kind of weird. That's probably from all the... doesn't smell real good actually, which is funny, but that's not going to come out on the video. The visuals can still be quite good. Probably putting me off a bit though, that's the only thing. But here we go. Clear blue sky today. But will it be a good day? Yesterday it was clear too. But it was not a good day because of personal interactions. You know, that was aside from the Matrix patrolling force. Here we have, see how we've got more joggers than what is normal? Or there should be no joggers actually on this park, the back of this park, but now they're jogging up here because I walk up here. They never used to jog here at all, that's what I'm saying. They've only been jogging here over the last, well, really over the last couple of years. If I come up here. If I wasn't up here, they wouldn't be jogging up here, that's what I'm saying. Because they're a patrolling, controlling force. They're a patrolling, controlling human control force. I don't know if that made sense, I didn't put it well. Look, that's a cute little dog there, isn't it? Look at him. Oh, he's a cute little dog. Some of the dogs are quite cute. Oh, look at that tree. It's a big one. See, that's a big tree. I'll have to move along because I'm getting late. See, they've opened up the school gates there to send cars in just when I come up here. Not that it matters. The sun's there. Where's the sun? The sun's coming through there. That might be interesting. Is the sun coming through there? It is. Sun is coming through. That's the school, but it's not open. It'd be too early anyway for the school anyway. It's not like opening school time. I hope I got that because I'm really not concentrating, which is a pity because I would, yeah, if I was in, not in a Matrix type world that was out to suppress me all the time and make sure that I can't even enjoy the little things of life, shall we say, I could take a little bit of contentment in making this video for someone, hoping that it shows something or makes them feel, you know, if you can't be in a place, I suppose the video is as close as you can get. And if I could put my personal touch on it, which they're trying to stop because I'm not feeling at one with any of this. In other words, if I see the sun hitting the tree, it should be pleasant, and I should say that makes a nice little picture or a good video, so I'll just click the button and film that. But instead, you know, I'm hardly got any energy and feeling mentally depleted. And, you know, I know that I have to get on top of it, you know. Oh, see, so we've got people coming up here. See, already the Matrix is getting me in. See, instead of how I was going to focus on the trees, as you can see how they've got me today because there's a few more people. And there's a man waiting up there for me in the orange t-shirt. And I'm out of breath, and yet I'm only at the back of the park. There's people down there, one coming out, two in front. Oh! And I actually am. Car coming up. See, there shouldn't be many cars coming up here. See, he's blinking his lights at me. But there shouldn't be any cars coming up. You see, they can start up work down there too, see? Because they protect they're always building stuff. Pulling, you know, doing work on houses and even to the extent of pulling them completely down and building new ones. This fellow's just waiting up here to get me. See how he's just been up here for all this time. He's pretending to talk to another one. But I'm going to get caught. But I'll have to cross them, and I will. And I shall be friendly and say hello to the dog and pretend that everything's hunky-dory. There's the sun there anyway. Look at that. It's right on me. Oh, I hope it's coming out. The trees there, that's the school. See how they've moved away as soon as I come. Notice that? Yeah, I wait. Yeah, actually, he's a funny little dog. But see how they just moved away when I was coming up, because I was going to give a positive vibe. I was going to pretend, I wasn't going to be like I am usually, where I just put my head down and tried to turn off as much as can and ignore them, which is hard because, anyway, I'll just walk up here, then I'll turn it off. This is not so photogenic. I prefer the park, but there is a few trees here, as you can see. This is the back of the school. So it's got the sign there, trespassers will be prosecuted. You can't walk. Oh dear, you can't walk in and out of schools anymore like you used to be able to, like even when I was young. Not that I believe in schools anyway, as you know, I'm a bit. But, you can't. There's the sun up there anyway. See, they put the trees in the schools to try, because this is supposed to be a green area. So you see, like up where I am, they're supposed to be all about keeping, the trees and all the rest of it. Even though they know that they have cut down, some of the most ancient, biggest, hugest trees in these areas in order to make way for technology, whether it be, ripping through everything to create more highways for the matrix traffic. Despite the fact that most of this is artificial, even they're just making it for themselves, for their artificial beings. They're not making it for human beings for convenience, at all. And I've just out of focus and out of what's the word? I have to walk up there and I have to go into the traffic now, so they'll bring that traffic on as soon as I just get up there. So basically I'm out of I don't know what the word is, out of is it incentive to keep going, really, even with the video, even though I want to. That's pretty, isn't it, with the sun coming through there? I think I got the phone around the wrong way though. I think it's better if I put it the other way to make it better. There's a fellow walking through there. So this back way here, when I used to walk here before the matrix exposed itself. Now I'm not saying that there weren't patrolling systems around before 4 years and 8 months ago. I'm not saying that at all. All I'm saying is that they didn't come out in the open. They were covert to where, yes, you would probably never be alone, but you'd only see one person, so you would think it was a normal world. But when it was too many, see how she walked away from me in front instead of crossing my path? See how she's crossing me in front? See? Nice dog though. See how, and one coming behind, but see how she crossed just in front. They always cross in front of you. Across a road. That's looks natural to an outsider, but that happens all the time. That's see how that truck, see how she walked on the road past me, and there's two coming up behind me there. They won't come out unless I wait here. See, they're all these fake exercise joggers. One over there too. But see how that car did a manoeuvre in front? It's just gone, that truck. I didn't point that out because I got sidetracked by the walker coming past me. That's what it is, you see. That's what it is. It's like chaos. And that's what they do on a one-on-one personal relationship basis too. They they confuse you and put you so that you can't focus, so that you're rattled, completely rattled. And they can say what they like. They can put their mind ideas onto you, confuse you to where you're not sure if you're right. You know, like in what you're thinking when you know that you are. See how he's just going to stay there with the engine running as I go past? Can you hear that or not? Who sits in the car with the engine running? That's another thing they do. They leave the lights on of a night time and sit in the car with the engine running. So you have no peace, you see, even at a noise level. I can hear that even though I've got blue tack in my ears. It's not disturbing. It's not loud like some of the noises, no way, but it is still, you're conscious of it. You're conscious. I'm out of breath here. I'll have to stop. But see how he's staying there with the engine running. I can't hear it now because I'm just, enough feet away. But see how he's got the lights still on, even though it's broad daylight. Look at that. But that's just, and there's two coming up in front. See, there shouldn't be that many people down this back way. Not before the Matrix exposed itself to me. You might see one person, the odd one, coming down this back way. So this is parallel to the main street, but it's a quicker route to go down the back way. To get the coffee. See. Yeah, but wherever you look, there will always be a person. See how there's one there? Two there, in fact. One coming one way and one coming the other. One coming in front of me. I think there is some reference to this somewhere. That they will come at you they'll come at you from the side, they'll come at you from the front, they'll come at you from the back. I think this could even be in some scriptures or some religions. One coming in front. And that's what the Matrix is. That's exactly right. It is these negative entities always around you. And they're actually, they're only strong because they protect and cover for one. And that's written in red paint on the pavement. Make of that what you will. But yes, possession can only take place in a neutral body, I think. This is why they try to bring the human body down, I now believe. I think this is so. That's why I'm fighting it. Oh, it's a nice little doggy. Didn't see them coming. You don't even see them coming. They come at you from behind. Like in the past, I've said this to people. In the past, I used to be very aware of people. See how he stalled a bit? Of people coming behind me and where people were. Now they pop up behind me because they walk quietly to catch me, so that you can't get away from them. I just noticed that in recent times because sometimes I'll just think that I'm walking and then there'll be, that's not in service, that bus. So many buses coming down this back way now too that they never used to have hardly any because most of those buses are not en route. And you notice that said not in service. That's because some of that was actually one of the quieter buses. See, there again, I've been complaining about the noise of the buses now for the last few years, so they bring in quiet ones and ones that are, but there's only got the odd one or two, because they want to get rid of me before they bring in all the quiet ones. I don't wake up to how they operate, because I know how they operate, and I can't do anything about it. I can't get on top of it, and I can't stop it. I can't eliminate it, but I'm very aware, even at a personal level, with personal people, their game and how they trick you and get you into arguments and into conflicts and get negative energy out of you. I see the game, but they still defeat me because you don't want to have, if you are dealing with people that are very psychopathic in nature, they will have to win at any cost. And they do see even a conversation, interaction with you as fighting for their survival. So they see it as you trying to they see it that as they fight for their life almost, just even in a conversation, which is ridiculous, over the smallest thing. Because they do not like being in the presence of a human being, because they feel that the human being, because they have an inferiority, superiority complex, a massive one. They see everything as a threat. They see you as competing with them all the time, even if you're doing absolutely nothing. If you are existing almost, they see your very existence as a threat to their to their competitive nature. They think that you're competing, even when you're just trying to be on the level, or if you're even when you're trying to give them something. If you give a psychopathic narcissist, a narcissistic psychopath, or any of those types of technically possessed people, say some information that may benefit them, they will take that information and take it for their own, but they will be offended by the fact that you knew that information. They won't think that it's a good thing that they've come on that information from you. They will see it that you tried to compete and outdo them somehow. And so they will, they will try to suppress and get rid of you, because they think that you're trying to show that you're somehow better than them. They don't see it that you're just trying to exchange information that may be a benefit to both of you. And even if they do, they're still so resentful because they're so anti-life and so anti-human that they'll take the information, but they will be offended and will be out to put you down or get rid of you, because they see that because they think that you knew something that they didn't, and they take offence at it. Which you can get that a little bit, but they take it to such an extreme, and they don't understand that you are not trying to, that you're actually just passing on something even sometimes, You don't actually see it as, because you might have just come on the information yourself. It's like, it's very hard to explain, but there's just this, it's just a very egotistical, that's the right word, egotistical personality. And they're basically, being conditioned, and with the mindset of the God of this world, which is essentially, I am the God, you serve me, regardless of whether you might have in fact, anything you have is not for you, it is for me. That's how the God looks at things. And that's how the narcissistic, which is the same thing, which means that it's all about the self, psychopathic, which means that you don't like life or your own kind or human beings. And so, I've lost my train of thought here because I focused on the people coming behind you, instead of concentrating on, focusing on see, this fella's just sweeping the street here. That's ridiculous. What person comes out of the house and sweeps the gutter and the street when the street sweepers come along here every day anyway? They do, or, in fact, you have to put up with the noise those machines make when they come along here to do the gutter, but that fella's coming up to do it. Like I think you have someone working behind you. But They look legitimate if they've got the dear little dogs with them. So they use even animals to make themselves look good. Basically, that's what it's all about. To make themselves look human, to make themselves look good, to make themselves look human. That's the name of the game. That's the name of the game. I'm out of breath here. And I'm sorry that I have not done a better video, but see that fella's over there smoking? Yes, here's a matrix-controlled apparent human. Here's another one sneaking up behind the tree there. See these? And of course they have to have the little ones with them, and the dogs and the prams and things. It makes it look all legitimate. Makes me look like some sort of negative rat bag that I would be pointing out. But, but there's too many of them down this back lane now. Even though it doesn't look like much, it's more than what there should be. There should be hardly anyone walking down here. I know because I used to walk. That's the... and I completely lost my train of thought. Oh, we've got them 1, 2, and 3, and 4. See how they come at you from all angles. They hit you from the left, they hit you from the right, they hit you from behind, and they hit you from the front. I think there is some... I think I heard that somewhere in something, but I can't remember where, but it could have some scriptural type of basis, perhaps. Well, there we go. I might just film that for it's Matrix or not, we have a decent pair of legs down past there. Just be witty here, and if there's any watching that like that little bit of titillation, shall we say, I'm happy to provide it. And actually, although I've never been, here we have one running up behind me, see what I'm saying? I'm not going to film them because even low, they know. See, I like to show how, he's now decided, I was about to say they like to show how fit and healthy they are, they actually stop. But then again, they do like to outdo you at that way, because if they know that, like, I'm practically out of breath, I really am. Hard, mentally, physically, and psychologically, like I completely feel almost finished. But like I've said before, you run on empty it's not even angry, but it is it's no good. It's no good. Shouldn't. We've got another one running up there, see how and he's in the house there. So see what I'm saying? It's not going to come out on the marble. There's a terrible smell around here of petrol or something too. I don't know what that is, but I'm moving the light. I better cross that light so red on. So I'm not even concentrating on the lights or anything. But I know they won't knock me over, strangely enough. But even so, I don't like to push it. There's still a little bit of fear goes into you. In fact, I think that's why they send the Matrix people and even personal relationships to completely hassle you, completely rattle you and stress you to where you can't think the way you normally would and to where you're angry. So you're giving out negative vibes, negative frequency. That helps to keep... it makes you look bad, so they look good. That's the name of the game. They want real human beings to look negative, whereas they're really negative. They steal all the positive human thoughts. They copy them, emulate them. Even intelligence that's from a human being. They will download every bit of your thoughts, your information from all the intelligent, high vibrational, or even just any human beings, because even a human being like myself that's at their lowest point and not really functioning as you're meant to be, or even as you want to be, still has a higher vibration and more positivity than what they can ever have. Because at least you want to be that. They don't want to be that. They can't be. They sustain their existence by draining negative energy from real human beings. That makes them feel alive, you see. That's at a psychopathic level. That's what I've been told, and this is true. But I must fold up because that school goodbye kind of made me feel uneasy. To where I'm like, I better... Oh, jeez. Oh, I'm totally out of... Totally out. Oh. See, I'm talking when I've got no energy, and I'm walking as well, and those people are bouncing around jogging because even though I do think, to be honest, that I was going to say this in a video, but I'm not clear enough, that even though all these people around are draining my energy and my life, and therefore they have the energy to have spurts of high energy where they're jogging and you know, all that sort of stuff. Even though that is the case, and I can hardly function here, even just, I'm standing still and I've got my eyes closed because I'm just trying to collect myself. And I've lost my train of thought, you see. But even though that's the case, they are so anti-life. They are not, you know, they are negative. They're destructive towards life. I feel negative towards all this that's around me because I know it's non-life. And sometimes that even can make you confused if you were with a real human being. I've said this before. Because as human beings, we're made to be very fallible at this time and have been over a lifetime. And that, of course, is the purpose too, to render you useless so that you can never function or have any, even if, you know, like supposing you're a real human and you're surrounded by negative technical beings, and then one day you're lucky enough to bump into a real human being, you will be so brought down by that, so confused, so suspicious, so angry, that you will not be able to have a relationship with another life. You know, you'll be lucky to just, you know, survive and provide negative energy for all these negative ones that are around you, the negative technical beings. See all those red car lights there lined up in broad daylight? Look at that. Can you see it? Is it coming out? Probably not. Probably not. See, but I better fold up. I'm getting the coffee just down here, so I'll just keep going. I can't. I actually can hardly. It's unusual for me not to have energy to talk, but I actually am completely out of breath, and yet I've only walked slowly. But my mind, I'm in like two minds because my mind is still focused on negative interactions yesterday. I'm frightened about what might happen today. And then I'm, you know, you never know when they're going to send negative frequencies. Then there's the noise element that disturbs you. Even if you're able to cope psychologically, they'll bring in then the noise into your house or around you. They just do one thing after the other according to how you are as a human being. They will not let you function at a normal level or at a reasonable frequency or vibration, if you want to put it that way. They won't let you feel remotely okay. because then you're not sustaining this negative technical matrix that's around you. So their aim and their game is to take your life from you, literally, not only while you're here, but also in the future. You know, they want you stuck here forever in this negative realm. One coming up behind me there. I'm folding up. Oh, is there a plane coming over? I can hear, there's a plane in front too, so just in front there, that's funny. I gotta close up.